we are in the Seven Parks Historic District and Dantzler Court, and I just have to veer off one quick second to say, I told some of you I bought my first house in this neighborhood over on Westwood Drive, way back in the pre-internet days. And my husband would call me every night. I was at Fort Benning. He was up here looking for houses. He'd tell me what he'd looked at. And so then he bought it, sight unseen to me. And it was such a great neighborhood. So it's good to be back here. So I'm here with Councilmember Hannah LeGris. We are in her district. And Councilmember Chuck Ellinger, who's a member of the Greenspace Commission. And this is a Greenspace Commission project. And do we have any other council members? I don't see any right now. I also want to welcome, and I haven't had a chance to say hello to these folks exactly. Is Commission Chair Russ Turpin here? Where are you? There you are, of course. And Patricia Wright, Vice Chair, is, I thought I saw her, yep. And Commissioner Jordan Lloyd, there you are. Thank you very much for the work you do on behalf of the city. We have so many great volunteers on our commissions, and we really appreciate it. Alan Cornett, are you here from the neighborhood? There you are. Other neighborhood people, where are you? Yay, thank you. All right, we love that the neighbors have come and are supportive of this project. So Lexington is home to many beautiful neighborhoods, and this is definitely one of them. The city owns property in many of our Lexington neighborhoods, and often the property that we purchase is because of significant flooding. So this area was home to 3 houses, which were frequently plagued with flooding. And now it's an attractive green space with an adventure garden, new trees, wildflowers, a bench, a stream buffer, and a geocaching station, an outdoor treasure hunting game using GPS-enabled devices. And we're starting to put those in many of our neighborhood parks. There's a bike rack, educational signing that will come soon.
Got in here, Mayor.
Where is it?
It's right over there. It came in.
Oh, I see it.
Yes.
Okay. Just in the nick of time for you, Chuck.
Exactly.
So these improvements cost approximately $16,000, and the funds came from a variety of sources. Bluegrass Community Foundation, the Greenspace Commission, and Greenspace Trust, the Urban County Council's Neighborhood Development Funds, and the city's Division of Environmental Services through the Water Quality Management Fee. And we have folks here from planning and environmental services. Where are you? Raise your hands. I talked to some of you, yes, who work on this kind of thing every day. The Greenspace Commission is improving vacant green space areas to enhance our neighborhoods and make green space more accessible. Just as we are connecting our trails, we are also working to connect our green spaces that are in walking distance to the trails. And we're starting to get some real national coverage on this because we're determined to make these connections wherever we can. So the commission is now working on improving the Eureka Springs detention area located off Eureka Springs Drive, and it hopes to begin implementation of that project next spring. So I want to congratulate the Greenspace Commission. Thank you so much for all your forward thinking and your good hard work. And now I'd like to welcome to the podium Councilmember Hannah LeGris from the 3rd District, who's going to speak.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you to you and to the Greenspace Commission. I'm so happy to have the chance to speak about this wonderful project here today in the 3rd District. And I'd like to share a little bit more about the history of this project and of this space. So that you know, the Dantzler Ct neighborhood green space consists of 3 different lots in total. And those lots were purchased in 2007 through 2008. And in early 2019, the Greenspace Commission began development of a pilot program to repurpose underutilized water quality lots and to turn them into inviting and vibrant neighborhood green spaces. That's what we have here today. It's so beautiful. So to talk a little bit more about the process, public engagement and design took place in early 2019, and the implementation began in early 2020 with continued improvements during the pandemic, with the installation of these final elements of the green space by the end of this past summer. And you might be interested to know that this site is located within the Wolf Run watershed, and the Big Elm Fork runs along the back edge parallel to the railroad. As the mayor mentioned, the Greenspace Commission added a stream buffer with native species, and that's between the Adventure Garden and the stream, and that serves to mitigate stormwater by providing improved infiltration. And then we also talked a little bit about the geocaching station, which is hidden on site, and that's all about engaging people within this green space. It provides educational information about water quality, which is very cool. And that's part of a citywide initiative so that people can learn more about spaces like these all throughout our community, and that can be accessed on the LFUCG website. We mentioned the educational signage. We also have QR codes, and I just love that there are so many ways to engage with and enjoy this space, because I think it's really important that this space is all about community and all about accessibility. And so it was very much intentional for this project to be inviting and within a 5 or 10 minute walk or bike ride for many neighborhood residents. And we have, as the mayor mentioned, a few of them here today. So in closing, I want to emphasize how grateful I am for the leadership of the Greenspace Commission and for the work of Kristen Curry, as well as that of former council members Jake Gibbs and Mark Swanson. They've truly developed an active and beautiful natural area in the Dantzler Ct green space. This is such a great place, and we're so happy to be here today in celebration.
Thank you very much. You know, Councilmember LeGris, you reminded me of something. Mayor Joe Riley, who was mayor of Charleston, South Carolina for many, 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 many years, always asked the question, and I think it's a really good one for cities always to consider. What is the cost of ugly? Think about it. You know, this is beauty, and beauty really uplifts people, and particularly in times when so many things are really difficult. So we always have to keep that in the back of our minds to continually uplift the beautiful. And now I'd like to ask Councilmember Chuck Ellinger to speak. He is the council's representative to the Greenspace Commission. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. Sometimes they say we save the best for last. I hate to disappoint you, but that's not the case here. It is my honor and privilege to be here. We've been working on this project now for about 3 years. And if you are in the Green Space Commission, would you raise your hand? Because some of us did not get introduced. So we have a real good turnout here. And thank you all for all you do. My job here is to kind of talk about the Green Space Commission, and I'll just give you a little overview. The Green Space Commission was founded in 1990 to preserve, protect, enhance, and maintain the open space throughout Lexington, urban service area, in Fayette County. There are 16 members on the commission representing various interests, including but not limited to real estate, small business, agriculture, engineering, landscape, architecture, environmental, and several others. So we have a vast group that works on this and work very hard. When we were looking at this project, and I've got the dates when we were starting to do this back in 19, we started with a bench, and we got that through the NDF. We started with the bench here. And I'm going to go off script here in a minute. I'm going to have Mr. Cornett come up here and just talk about what he's seen, because this is basically his backyard, and he's seen a lot of change here. But we've gone from invasive removal to trees purchase to our adventure garden to our bench installation to our stream buffer and wildflower plants, our educational sign that's now up, our bicycle rack, and now our geocaching station, which we were looking for earlier and couldn't find, so good luck. So we have hidden it well. But with that, when we were doing this, and I was telling the people on the Greenspace Commission that we had some extra money here because we had that discretionary fund, that I want to make this our showcase. So when we do other projects, as like the mayor said, we have the Eureka Springs that we're now looking at doing. We want to have this one to be our showcase, our model, that you can say this is what it can look like. So the neighbors will be proud of it. The city will be proud of it. And with that, Mr. Cornett, if you would, just give us a couple words about what it looked like before and how it's changed with what it looks like now.
Thank you. Welcome.
How
are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you all for being in our little nook of Lexington. We usually like to be ignored, but we're thankful for this bit of attention that we've got. I want to thank the mayor and the council members for being here, and especially I want to thank the Greenspace Commission, because I know that they took special interest in this little set of lots and decided to make this a pilot for all of Lexington, really, for a transformation into this park area. And so on behalf of the neighborhood, we're very thankful for that. As Councilmember Ellinger mentioned, I live right over here. This is literally my backyard over here. I look out and see it, and it has been really transformed. It's gone through a lot since I've lived here. When I moved in, the houses were already gone, but it was essentially just sort of a neglected lot that was mowed every now and then, but it was overgrown in areas, and people would come over here, but not regularly. You would just see some neighbors. And then 3 years ago, I guess, Columbia Gas took it over, fenced it, and ran heavy equipment through here, which was not great. But it was hard to see that and then imagine that it could be this. And they did a lot to restore it, but this has been really a transformation and a sort of a hidden gem for our neighborhood. And I know that I'm seeing more and more people discover it and come over here, and people running with their dogs or coming and sitting on the bench. And I know there were a lot of moving parts, different people who were mentioned earlier by the mayor, and a number of funding sources. And so I appreciate the coordination that took. I know that was difficult, and of course then we had a pandemic thrown in the middle of it. But here we are, and I'm very thankful for it, and thank you all for coming out and for the good work that council members have done and for the mayor has done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cornett. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Councilmember Ellinger.
Thank you, Mayor. One last thing is, like the mayor, when she first came here, I live not too far, so it's personal to me too. So I expect to be spending some time out here enjoying this, like the neighbors and the rest of Lexington. With that, Mayor.
Bike trail.
Yeah, well,
Right?
we can get here.
We need a bike trail for this man. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate the personal comments, Mr. Cornett. That was great. I remember, and you probably do too, when we used to get all the flooding calls in this area, and so this is great. Now, we are going to cut a ribbon. And so what I'm thinking is, so we're going to officially open this Greenspace area, and so I'd like to invite members of the Greenspace Commission, neighborhood folks. We're just going to pile everybody in to celebrate the good. 1, 2, 3. Yay! Yay.